Today I'm going to show you a legendary trick that I learned from Illenium, and we're going to make a drop with that trick. So the drop that I'm going to make today is going to come after this piece of music here, and if you want to see how I made this piece of music here, go ahead and hit up the last video that I uploaded to YouTube. I left the link in the description below because in order for this video to make sense, you're going to want to see that video as well. And that video got such positive feedback, which is the main reason that I decided to make this video, because all of you guys were asking me to go ahead and add on a drop to the piece of music that I wrote in that video. So the drop that I wrote is going to come after this part. I'm going to play it from here so you could hear. This is the chorus of the song, and then we're going to have a little build up here and go into the drop here.
I can't live without, I can't live without you. I can't live without, I can't live without you. I can't live without, I can't live without you. I can't live without, I can't live without you.
And so now we need to drop into a really big drop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself something to start with. We're going to put the chords here, and that'll give us a nice basis for building this drop. So we got the chords, and now's the fun part. We're going to make one of the coolest vocal melodies you've ever heard. And this style melody is what I've learned from listening to countless Illenium songs, including his latest album, Ascend, which is just beautiful and does not ever get old to listen to. So for this style vocal chop melody to work, I'm going to go for a melody that it has no lyrics in it. So what I'm going to need is a vocal riff where the vocalist is singing, but he is not singing lyrics. So it'll sound like, whoa. I'm not a singer, but you get the point. There's no lyrics, but he's kind of like belting different notes. So let's go ahead on to Splice and find some good vocals that we could use for this melody. So the first one I have here is pretty spot on to what I'm looking for. And then I'm gonna find one more. I know I have a good one here. See, that is spot on perfect. This is like candy for a electronic music producer. You could do so many different things with a vocal riff like this, and this will work exactly with what we're trying to go for. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start chopping this up and using this vocal to come up with something really nice for this drop melody. This is how I make my vocal melodies. I just rearrange and chop and rearrange and chop. And so now for the next however long it takes to come up with something good, I'm just going to chop, rearrange, and then I'll catch you guys when I come up with something good and show you what I came up with. Alright guys, so I came up with this beautiful vocal chop melody, and it sounds like this. And the reason it sounds so high pitched is because I have some altar boy on it where I pitched it and formatted it up. And I'm going to go ahead and add some reverb and a couple other things to make it really pop out. That is gorgeous. That is like one of the nicest melodies I think I've ever made. So now I'm going to go ahead and build us a nice drum line because it's terribly easy to build a drop when you have that structure. So I have my favorite kick in the world always sitting on my desktop. I have my snare here. Grab a ride. Okay, so now I'm going to take the bottom notes of the piano chords and we're going to make a bass line with them. So I have two bass sounds here layered on top of each other. They sound like this. And I'm going to add this little guitar melody for the midsection of this drop. throw in some atmospheres. I have this really nice pad here. I also have this other sound here that sounds like this, but I bounced it out into its own stem here. So now we have, and that's just gonna float over the entire drop. So now what I have to do is take the middle notes of the piano and enhance those. So I'm gonna copy those with Command C and put them on their own layers. So now we have these two sounds, with the bass and the atmospheres. Sounds like this. So now we have to put the icing on the cake and find some cymbals and crashes that we could put on the front of the drop. That's a nice one. I'm going to take that one. And then this one's very, very bright, so I'm going to take that one as well. And then with these, finally, when you have a drop, you really have to cross everything over into the buildup so that the drop and the buildup blend together and nothing hits you too sporadically. So I'm just going to take some instruments that I think would sound really good in the buildup and filter them out and kind of work our way into the drop. And I'm going to do that with the guitar and the bass and also these layers as well. So now I'm going to filter them out. So let's go ahead and play this song from our build up into the drop and see what we get.
I can't live without, I can't live without you. I can't live without, I can't live without you. I can't live without, I can't live without you. I can't live without, I can't live without you.
Alright guys, I hope that video inspired you. If you would like to learn more about mixing, songwriting, sound design, arrangement, and making amazing drops, come join me in my EDM bootcamp. I left a link for you in the description below, and I look forward to seeing you in there.